Today on the Inquiry Zone,
How do we use the inquiry process with our current science kit?
welcome everybody to the Inquiry Zone. This is John Taylor, Director of STEM Education, ETHOS Innovation Center.
And I am Douglas Hunnings. I'm the Director of the Primary STEM Education here at ETHOS Innovation Center. And today, John, we have another question submitted by teachers. And this is not a good one, especially with about science kits. The teacher asks, how do we use the inquiry process with our current science kit?
I'm going to just go in a little different direction real quick here and just say, teachers need materials to teach science. I do think you can do science with very little, but you get more bang for your buck sometimes when you have some neat exercise or the equipment is there and it's all laid out. And I applaud schools that support their teachers with having adequate material. So I know you had a kindergarten teacher, I have a kindergarten teacher's wife, and spending a couple $1,000s a year on just everything else, language arts, math, and all your materials, that was so easy to do. And it was just out of your pocket. So when it comes to science, if we're asking teachers to shell out again, oh my word. Plus, schools can be very smart with this, with supplies and working to make sure that it's a very efficient and effective delivery of materials to their teachers, so they have the right stuff to teach science.
I think it's great, like you said, that we have the science kits. I know when I was in the classroom, I was very happy and I appreciated how when I had my science kit, all the materials I needed for that unit, it was there. So I didn't have to go run to the store to buy cups or have to go pick up this or that. It was included. So it really helped me as a teacher. I didn't feel like, okay, not only am I getting it prepped and planned, now I got to make my list and go out and buy what I need for my students. It was there.
Yes.
I loved it.
And really what we're teaching goes with any kind of a science material kit, program, or whatever you have for curriculum. Although I think for good curriculum, you should look it over and check it against the inquiry process. If it doesn't fit, you need to think twice what you're doing. And that is that thing, right, Douglas? What we're talking about, the inquiry model, this is a method, is what we're talking about.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily a curriculum. I know when we worked with teachers, they thought that we were presenting something that would take the place of what they were doing before in science. And it's a way to teach science. It's not the curriculum itself, right. which lends itself, because then that means no matter what curriculum you have in front of you, you can apply the science inquiry methods, which goes with the question. The teachers are learning about this process with us, and they have their science kit. Now they're trying to mesh them together, which is great.
Yes, it is. You've got what you need, you got a good process, and you got the curriculum you can move through. And it is moving past that idea of a purely scripted curriculum, which is could be very dry. But you're looking at it and thinking, all right, where are observations taking place? Where's questioning being developed? I see what they're doing here to develop a procedure. Do I like it? Or am I going to, run that procedure myself from scratch and kind of develop it? But understanding the method frees us up. It allows us to do a lot of amazing things, like become a little bit cross-curricular, allows us to be more efficient with our time. It allows us to integrate science throughout the week, and not just in that science special block, but we can actually do science in our language arts or math time to spice it up, but also to get a 2-for-1, so that students are actually learning science as they're learning language arts, learning math and such.
That's right. That's why I love the whole inquiry approach, and it lends itself to that cross-curricular instruction. Now, to think as a teacher, let's say I have my kit for the first year. I may not be a first-year teacher, but I have this kit for the first time. So as I would go through my planning, I actually would have my list, the checklist of the steps of the inquiry process. And as I'm planning for my science lesson, I take and look at, like you said, are there opportunities for observation? And if it's lacking, then I would know as a teacher to just make sure I'm adding that to enhance the curriculum. Just like if we have textbooks for like math, social studies, we as teachers, we have those textbooks, but sometimes we like to bring in some more to supplement it, to kind of make it, more engaging,
Sure.
maybe sometimes. And so that's okay to do that as a science teacher. So as I would go through the unit for the first time, I'd read over, I see how I can adapt it, and I would keep notes. So then the next year, when I had it, I felt like I was more prepared. So of course it takes that work to go along, but it helps you be more efficient. Now, something else that we offer here, with Ethos in the future, we're going to provide that PD opportunity where we can walk you through whatever science kits that your district would own, and we'll help you pull out those inquiry ideas and help you create a document that could be useful for your district. Right. That's something else that we can help support as well.
Well, we know as teachers, once you get your routine together, if it's a good routine that can last for years and it hits the standards and it's a good methodology to use with your students, then that next year it's so nice. And then you talk about enhancing. What can I do to improve my method? And it really is about getting past that first hurdle so that we can do some reflective, some pre and post test, and talk with other teachers to really improve our instruction.
And then also to think about this too, there are some science curriculum out there, some kits that are excellent, and they do a very good job of inquiry. And I've noticed through my own research that the companies are realizing that that's what they need to add, or maybe was lacking in the past, and they are doing very well of implementing it. And if you see the idea of questioning or allowing students to turn a prediction hypothesis, if it's strong, then also make a note for yourself. Don't feel like you have to then go find new things for all the steps. You only are supplementing when you feel it is lacking as a teacher. Right.
And we have to be intelligent going through the manuals as far as looking at what we're doing, so that it's a bit of pick and choose, and maybe we do this, then we don't do this. It's just a matter about what's appropriate for our students and what really does make sense. So if I have my curriculum laid out for me, I might be deciding I'm skipping this and skipping this, but I'm putting this in instead because it really fits the inquiry model better and will allow my students to be more comfortable, better flow, and I'll be learning, because we're teaching content, but we're teaching a process here.
That's right. So the inquiry process, in a way to help us remember it, it's to help you get the instruction, to help you help the students to understand and learn the content. So I don't want people to think, oh, this is just something extra I'm added on top of the kit. It's like your car. It's your vehicle to get that science out there.
Yeah, good way to put it. That's right.
But yeah, so that was a great question, and thank you for the teacher that submitted that. I love that thinking, and you're learning the inquiry with us, and now you're figuring out the application piece, which is awesome.
Remember, at the bottom, if there's a link pops up when you see that, send your questions. Love to hear your feedback, and whatever we can do to kind of help out you as our colleagues, we really appreciate it. Thank you for watching so much and joining us today on the Inquiry Zone.
We'll see you next time.
ETHOS would like to recognize the hardworking teachers at one of our partner schools, Cleveland Elementary School, inspiring excellence in inquiry education.